And we're live. Hey, everybody.
Hey guys.
It's Breia and Lydia here. Um, we have another episode of Returning to Love for you. This week, yeah, I've had a rough week, so I'm gonna let Lydia kind of lead this one, cause
Oh, I was gonna say, tell us about it, Bria.
yeah, cause I did
Tell us
not
about it.
practice forgiveness this week. I can say that I had a lot of lessons, but the practicing wasn't even there, so I don't even know where to begin. It was, well, actually, I did practice forgiveness. I lie. It
What
was just
happened?
kind of a trying week. So, okay, first things first, I um, had a check sent from my old property manager that I put in my new account here on the East Coast. And I had the account over a month, been using it, had no problems. So the check cleared Friday.
Hallelujah,
Um,
check.
yes, the
Bria
check.
is grateful.
I paid a few bills, and then all of a sudden I got an email to do it was a security freeze on my account. And so they gave me a number to call. I called. She's like, we just wanted to make sure that it was you making these online
Okay.
transactions. And we went through them one by one. I'm like, yes, those are all me. And she's like, okay, I'll send this over to security and it would be fine. So a little while later, I went on to pay another bill and the card was declined. So I called and they were like, oh, well, um, security says that your Michigan driver's license doesn't match your address, and they need you to bring in your Delaware license to show your current address. I'm like, I don't have a Delaware license. I'm not living here. I'm just staying here a few months. The lady knew all of this when I opened the account. We talked for a good long while about everything and why I was out here and how long I'd be out here. I brought her my USPS change of address. Everything was good, no problems. They were like, well, then you would have to have a lease in your name or a utility bill. What part of I'm just staying here for a few months do you not understand? I'm staying with a friend. I don't have those things because I'm only here for 2 or 3 months. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, then I'm sorry. We won't be able to take the hold off your account till next Friday. Meanwhile,
Next Friday?
next Friday, 5 business days. And this happened Friday. And I'm like, meanwhile, I was in pain at the time because I've been having gallbladder attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if this was a problem, why did you open my account in the first place? Well, she shouldn't have opened it. She made a mistake. Yeah, so I pissed is too small of a word to describe what I was feeling because for one, I never carry cash. They
Mm.
didn't just security freeze my check, they security freeze my account. So everything, I didn't have gas money. I didn't have any cash on me. Like, so I'm pretty much essentially broke for a week because I have money in an account that I can't access. Um, then they found my uncle's body on, well, okay. Basically, we found out they found my uncle's body yesterday. He died in his apartment. Apparently, his heart gave out. I'm not a fan of this uncle.
This is your
Honest.
father's brother?
Yeah, that one, the one with all the drama and all the trouble
Yeah.
because he's been a lifelong addict. And then after my father died, he really went crazy with scamming and conning and using my grandmother. So he and I, we don't talk. We honestly, I've hit squirrels and I felt more for the squirrels than I did
Mm. Mm.
finding out he died. And then I had to think about, oh, am I a bad person? All of this stuff. But I feel for my grandmother because in a very short span, she's 83. She's lost two of her sons.
Mm-hmm.
And even though she sounds more relieved than sad, even, it's still, I kind of wanted to be there for her. So I was going to drive home, for a few days and spend time with her. And of course I can't because, again, there's this security freeze on my account. And whew, so then I kind of got into this kind of back and forth with this girl online.
Online.
She, I know it's weird. She was one of my Facebook friends. She's an entrepreneur. She had a business that helps your company with all their legal services, contracts, all of this. This is even before either of these items happen. But anyway, she had posted that she was having an invitation only webinar tomorrow at 12. Like this was like maybe Tuesday or something. She sent this out, and comment I'm in if you're interested. So I commented I'm in. There was never a response to my post. There was never anything. So the next day, about 11:15, she sends a link. Hey, this is the link to the webinar. I didn't see it till 12:30. I had booked a meeting between 11:30 to 12:30. So I messaged her, hey, sorry, I missed it. You let me know if you have another one, and please try to give me a little more notice. She was like, you had noticed I posted the time yesterday. I was like, yeah, it was a post with the time, but once I said I'm in, it said it was invitation only. It was no response saying, okay, I'll message you the link before we start. Or, you know, sometimes people want to interview you first, see if you're a good fit. Like it was just no communication. And even in the post itself, it was no direction given after what happens when you say I'm in. You know what I mean? And she's like, well, nobody else has had a problem in the 5 years we've been doing it and all of this stuff, and just got kind of really nasty. And we don't do emails and we don't collect emails. And I'm like, who is talking about emails? I'm a reply to my comment saying, okay, you're in, or okay, we'll send you the link before it starts, like something. I didn't even put it on my calendar because there was no response, you know? So anyway, then she goes on Facebook, like bashing me without saying my name. Like people need to learn how to read and all of this other stuff. So I see this in my feed. So I'm going to her page because I'm getting ready to write a comment, and I couldn't comment. And then I looked, she had unfriended me, but her page was still open. So I still saw all the stuff she was saying about me. So I was like, just let it go. It's not that good. And a little while later, it's still bothering me. So I messaged her back, and I was very nice and professional about the whole thing. But still, that kind of upset me. But from those few incidents, I can say this. This is what I'm proud of. That one, the thing with the girl, I was like, how grateful am I that I did make the webinar? Because people act a certain way, you know, when they're professional, when they're trying to get your business. I would have signed up for her right then. You know what I mean? Because I need this stuff done in my business. I had the money. And then I would have later found out down the line that she's not necessarily somebody that I would have wanted to work with. You know what I mean? And I said, so that I can see how I was basically freed from all of that. You know, I don't want people on my timeline that bash other women or talk about other entrepreneurs, or, you know what I mean?
Oh, so, that sort of reminds me of our Money Babe lesson today, but go on.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even want that energy around me. So that was a tremendous blessing that happened the way it did. Because if I had made the webinar, I'm like, I would have been like, oh, she's a Black woman. I want to support her, do this and work with her. Girl, please, I'm about to pay this white man for my legal services because he has very good customer service. So anyway, that kind of was that lesson with that. Then the whole bank thing, I was pissed. I can't even tell you how, but it only lasted for an hour. And then it went away and I was fine. I'm like, it's okay. I don't really need anything. I can eat off the truck up until then because I go on this food truck.
Oh, wow, what a blessing.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to be eating all that food with my gallbladder, but hey, I had a cheesesteak today and no pain yet. So we'll see. I like it. It'll be fine. It will all work out. Then So the Uncle Raymond thing, I still have to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, my god brother, he said to be on the phone, sorry for your loss, and I just busted out laughing. And he's like, so this wrong with you? I'm like, yeah, I feel like I gained. And I know that's terrible to say, but I'm free of ever having to talk about him again, I feel. You know what I mean? He just put my family through so much stuff. There's always some stuff with him. My grandmother is making payments on a car. She has no idea where it is. He lost track of it sometime in September. And it's this happens every day. It's just always something with him. And it's just so selfish and never cares about anybody but himself. And then, last night I forced myself to say a prayer for him because, I was like, I can't imagine trying to put myself in his shoes, and it's hard. But I just think even at the moment of his death, to die alone in that way, and I don't know if he felt the heart attack coming and couldn't do anything about it because he didn't have a phone. So he was dead for days. My grandmother hasn't spoken to him since December 3rd. Nobody has seen him since December 8th. Somebody called the police and reported a smell odor from his apartment, and that's what sent them to check. So, but what was so bad about it is the detective called my grandmother on Wednesday, Detroit Police Department, and it's like, asking her who she was, and he's like, yeah, I need to speak with you. I can't come right away, but I'll be there soon. He still hasn't shown up. So she was waiting for days to find out what happened. And finally, yesterday, my aunt started calling the police stations and the morgue. And finally, when she got in touch with the morgue, they were like, yes, we believe we have his body. So my grandmother had to go identify him this morning. And it was difficult. They had to show her a picture, but they couldn't use any of his identifying marks or his fingerprints because he had decomposed for days before they found him. So I feel for her, and my heart feels for her, because even when I was talking to her, she's like, I still haven't been able to finish grieving for your dad. And so I feel bad for her, but it's hard to feel anything for him. It's like I'm just numb. And so I don't know if maybe over time that will, but it's just, yeah. So that was my week.
Now, with the bank and with your uncle and with the promoter, I guess, is that what she was? Or
no, she has a business.
The businesswoman that disturbed your soul. Using the principles of the course, how would it tell you to look at those things?
They mean nothing.
Did they really happen?
Exactly. And it don't mean anything. I was okay with that. Well, my uncle, I didn't feel anything, so that was easy. This death means nothing. Not to me.
And the course says he would be a projection of something in your own mind.
Yeah.
And that he's not separate from you.
I like to have separation.
And just let me say this.
I know these things intellectually, but it's hard to feel them in the moment at certain times.
We want grievances, though.
Yes, we do.
We want our grievances because they keep us separate, and they keep us in a state of lack. So we always have to have something crazy going on out in the world. That's our ego, the separated mind, the part of our mind that wants to be separate, keeps disturbances going on outside of ourselves. So we'll always be preoccupied with that. And we'll always have a reason to withhold love from somebody. But just let me say, and I know I'm human too. I believe I'm human. I'm having the experience of being in this separated body that I think is, sometimes at the mercy of the world. But what we withhold from others, we actually withhold from ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something to think about.
I know.
You've been doing this for a long time.
I know it all. Applying what I know. Now there's the task.
Yeah.
The application of the principles that you know are true. But yeah.
I know. And it seems so hard in the moment.
Yeah, it's so much easier to practice forgiveness when you don't deal with these other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then it's not forgiveness, is it?
Mm-hmm. But I really like how you were able to like put yourself in your uncle's shoes. As far as how he must have felt dying, like alone and with a heart attack, and how much fear he must have been in living if he had to live like that.
Yeah. And then it made me think of my dad too,
Mm-hmm.
who he didn't have a heart attack. He died of a pulmonary embolism, but similar. He's alone in his apartment. Who knows how long he was feeling bad before he called the ambulance. And he died in the ambulance, but he may have felt some similar ways alone and, in the moments before they got there, or even still, they're strangers. They're not like family, not surrounded by family. So the difference is my dad had a phone to call for help. My uncle didn't. And so I try to think about it in that way. And I don't know exactly what his life is supposed to teach me yet, because I still have kind of a layer of resentment over that. So that's not going to come up just yet. But I know there's something to learn there about myself.
What did you call him earlier?
Asshole.
You said he was selfish. I remember that. You said something else.
Who knows? I didn't think highly of him at all. I've always thought of him like it's my grandmother. My grandfather wrote him off when he was about 13. My grandfather used to call him the bad seed, like the movie.
Yeah, my mom loved that movie.
He wouldn't do it. But my grandmother, like all the years he was in and out of prison, she would go visit him. She would put money on his commissary. He could call her all the time. Anytime he was out, she would help get him a cell phone, help get him a car, help get him an apartment, help get him furniture, dishes, everything. And for him to treat her the way he treated her, when that was literally the only person he had in his life that was always there for him no matter what, that is kind of what made me look at him really.
He could not accept love.
Yeah.
And why couldn't he accept love? Just something to think about.
He hated himself. You're not a drug addict and when you love yourself at all. Mm-hmm. People who have drug addictions hate themselves. It's just no doubt about it, but it's hard. Look, knowing everything she's been through, and then, he and I, we were all right for a while, and then he started scheming and scamming her, and he did some things to my dad, and he and I almost got in a physical altercation in her apartment once. Like, my dad had to break us apart and like pull me in the bathroom. Like, it was bad. It was bad. And yeah, it's just never been healed, that relationship.
Yeah.
Mostly from my I'm sure. But even yeah, I don't know. It's just I still got that resentment there. So it's just hard to, but I wonder, it made me wonder, like, wow, I think of myself as this loving, giving person, but am I really as loving as I think I am when he died and I couldn't care less? If anything, I halfway want to cheer, you know? So it caused a lot of self-reflection. And not even like that, yes, I'm happy he's dead, that kind of thing, but more so I'm happy he can't hurt my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or my perception of him hurting people in my family. And I can't even say people, just my grandmother, because nobody else has anything to do with him. So I don't know. I was just thinking about it. So
I would just say chapter 27, which we didn't finish discussing, but chapter 27, this makes me think of the part one, the picture of the crucifixion, and part two, the fear of healing. But especially like the picture of the crucifixion. But yeah, that whole chapter 27, and the picture of the crucifixion especially, I remember it goes into talking about healing, like right vision, and sort of using right vision to heal our perception of our brother, and through that ourselves.
right.
Because it's really a powerful chapter, and especially that part one, the picture of the crucifixion, maybe into section 2 as well. But it is all connected, like our perception of others, or what we think of as others and ourselves.
Right.
So I would look more deeply into that and the symbolism, because this is a world of symbols, the symbolism behind that, and the check, and the business moment. But
yeah,
you're on your way.
like I said, it's easy to
You just have to take
read,
that course
it's
step.
easy to know, it's harder to practice.
Yeah, I know.
And when I look at the grace, because before I knew she had unfriended me, I saw the post in my news feed, so she must have made the post and then unfriended me afterwards. So I went in the post, and it started with bitch. And then I was like, no, and then I noticed I couldn't post, and I'm like, oh, that's for the best. It's definitely for my highest good. And I was like, it's not even worth it. I just know that that's not somebody I would want to do business with anyway. And I look at it, me saving a headache down the line. But then when I thought about it, she was telling people on her page, oh yeah, this chick actually thought that I was supposed to send her an email confirmation. I'm like, didn't nobody ask for no email? Like, what are you talking about? So I responded kind of to that part. And then I was like, I left it alone. I look at it as a God's blessing. Because had I got on that webinar, she'd have probably got my money, and then I'd have been pissed, like trying to get it back when I found out who she was or whatever. And this isn't to say that she's even a bad person or she's wrong and I'm right. We just don't resonate. And I do not work with people that I don't resonate with. Like, that is one of my things. I want the people on the same energy as me, the same ideals and beliefs that I have. Those are the types of people that I want to work with. So, yeah, I can't get on typing on your profile about other. Can't even do it. So I look at that as grace. I look at that as grace. So that whole situation I'm done with. But yeah, that was my week. Not even a full week, just really Wednesday through Saturday. Wednesday through Saturday. So what about you? What was going on with you? You had a great week from what we were just messaging about over the week. I saw French food and music and all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, so we're doing this Money Babe challenge. Catherine Zenkina, guys, look her up. She's awesome. And she has this Money Babe challenge to help you
unleash your inner money babe.
Unleash your inner money babe. It's a book. You can get it on Amazon.
Yep, it's a workbook. But let me just say, guys, we've been trying to do this challenge since March. Me and the ladies of the mastermind, of which Lydia is a part. And we cannot make the 21 days.
But this time we're doing it because we feel the tick-tock of the clock 2019 is coming to an end.
Yes, I told the girls this week, I was like, okay, we got, if it's 22 days left to the end of the year, if we're going to finish this little 21-day challenge this year that we could have done 10 times over, we need to start tomorrow. So all week we've been consistent with doing the challenge. Today is day 7, 2 more weeks to go. And it's not even like that the challenge is so great or she's so great that we have to want to do it, but it's just about the consistency of us doing things that we know benefit us and are better for our lives.
And our inability to finish it also showed a block towards abundance.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Because we was like less than 18 back in March, and I still.
But even still, you weren't doing the days consecutively, right? You would miss and then just
there
go
were
to
a couple of days I missed, especially as I
So I think that consistency is important, especially when you're trying to form new habits. And I think consistency, at least for me, has always been my problem. So really going into 2019, I'm really working towards making an effort to be more consistent in just everything. Usually if I tell somebody I'm going to do something for them, whether they're a friend or a relative or even a client or whatever, I always do it. But when it comes to the promises I make to myself or the things that I say I'm going to do for myself, whether it be working out, eating better, drinking more water, you take your pick, child. The consistency there and being consistent for myself has not been there. So that is, this finishing this challenge before the end of the year is more about just being consistent for me and making that effort to do what I say that I'm going to do for me.
Shout out to Kat. So yeah, yesterday I got to meet up with 2 of my friends that I made at Landmark. And we got to catch up because one of them one is in my self-expression and leadership program. And then the other one, we hadn't seen her since like May or June, I think. May, or was it? No, August. I'm sorry. August was the last time we saw each other. So we got to meet up at a really nice cafe on the Upper East Side. And we got to do lunch and chat and catch up. And then afterwards, we went to this club like at Midtown East called Bonafide. And there was a duo who were performing like famous French songs. They would sing like Edith Piaf and other like popular songs by different French musicians. And I say, like, after I left, I felt like 10 times more cultured. And I guess I took French like in high school, throughout high school, and like a semester of college. So I knew I got to know quite a bit, but where it's all going now, I don't know. I have to do Duolingo to bring it back, but I had a nice time. And you know, today I've been thinking. I'm working with a small business consultant, and she wanted me to think about the name of my astrology practice, which is called The Truest North, and whether, you know, what that means, whether that's a destination or a direction. So I'd been thinking about that, and I came to the conclusion that it is a direction based on what true north is. Like true north is like the North Pole, and on maps, like on maps, they have the longitude lines that'll lead you to it. And if you're born away from the North Pole, which most of us, which we all are, and you want to get there, most people, you can't just take a plane there. Most people would try to use a compass to get there, right? But a compass relies on the magnetic fields of the Earth, which are off. So it's not going to lead you to directly to true north, to the North Pole. And so there are ways that you can get there, but you can also use, you can also get to true north by following the North Star. And I sort of think that the archetypal portion of astrology, which represents the different, the planets represent the different archetypes and the signs represent different archetypes, that all of us are called forth to act out at any certain point of time in our lives. And that's what astrologers do. They help you to guide that field. But also, A Course in Miracles has really proven to be my North Star. And I think of true north as like the self-actualized potential, the self-actualization of our highest potential, which most of us rarely ever reach, right? That self-actualized person who's reached their highest potential. Saint Teresa, Gandhi, Mandela, and the magnetic, like a compass, it won't get you directly to true north. And it's relying on magnetic fields, which are unreliable. And I sort of think of people like the world as those magnetic fields, right? They tell us to go this way. They tell us you need this to be fulfilled. You need to look like this to be fulfilled. You need to get this degree to be fulfilled. And how often do those things really work? Most people are walking around here unfulfilled. They have no idea who they really are inside. And so everyone, no matter what it is, they need to find
their true north.
Their some kind of inner compass, inner guide that they can refer to find that self-actualize that potential. And so I was just thinking, A Course in Miracles is really proving to be that above all else for me. And it's funny, like the course, it's like 1,300 plus pages. And but I find no matter what page I open it to, if I just open it randomly, the same message is in each sentence. And it's just forgive, oneness, love, and no matter where I'm at in life, it can put me back on the right path. And so that's just what I realized. I'm actually writing up an article that I'm going to put on my site, and I'm eventually going to film a video discussing all of that. But that's like a realization that I've come to. And everybody, it doesn't have to be A Course in Miracles. You don't have to study astrology. But everybody, you can't listen to the world. They do not know. I'm telling you. But everybody needs to find some kind of inner compass, their own true north. Whether that's whether they turn to religion as a way to get in touch with that part of themselves, or Buddhism, or just deep meditation or something else. You need to find a way to get in touch with that still small voice within. And A Course in Miracles is certainly helping me to do that.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you connected it in that way. And it's so funny. I think it was probably a year ago, when might have been longer than that, you were telling me you saw yourself as both an astrologer and a teacher of A Course in Miracles.
I still see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because the way you tied them together so perfectly just now. shows that that's really coming together for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Earl Purdy, a famous course teacher, he's also an astrologer.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's my big realization for the week.
Well, that's good.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
Any page I turn to in A Course in Miracles, I'll start reading it and like, that's it.
Yeah, I'm not resonating with it right now. But that's how it's been. I got introduced to the course when I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
16. 10th grade, I think. 10th grade.
Oh, wow.
My grandmother ran across it in her early 90s sometime. She sent it to my mom in Detroit. And then my mom read it. She didn't start us studying it. By she, I mean my mother didn't start us, me and my siblings reading it until we moved to Delaware. So I might have been 14 because we moved to Delaware when I was like 14 or something like that. But yeah, it's always for me. That was 20 plus years ago. It's ebbs and flows. I'll pick it up for a while. I'll do the lessons. And then it's just like pull away from it and I go
What
on
do you
to
think that
something else.
is?
I don't know. I'm like that way with a lot of things though. Like so many things pique my interest. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll just make a recommendation, the Kenneth Wapnick takes. If like since you drive a lot, I think, listening to those.
And I love him. He's one of my favorite. And I love his style because he's just very blunt and straightforward and give it to you with no chaser.
If not for Kenneth Wapnick, I don't think I would. Like, I wouldn't understand. Like, Ken Wapnick and Gary Bernard, thank God for them. Because otherwise, I'm sure I'd misinterpret. My ego would help me to misinterpret. And
my family.
And I probably wouldn't be as devoted as I am now.
I think my grandmother became introduced to a course through, I think it was Marianne Williamson's Return to Love. If that was out in the early 90s, then I'm pretty sure
I think so. Yeah,
that was it. Let me look. Because I think it was before Patches died. So maybe around 92. And she sent it to my mom. Let me see when it came out. If I can find it. I'm just curious. Maybe not, because this is 1996. So it was a little before that. But I know they read that book too. And that one I loved it. I read it in high school, but it was Gary Renard's one. I don't even remember how I ran across it. I think it was, remember when like Yahoo Groups was a thing?
Yeah, I do.
I was in a few Yahoo groups, and I think somebody in there recommended
that was like the early 2000s, wasn't it?
Let me see when.
I was in an astrology group and an instinct group. I used to like that back in 2000.
I was in like a bunch of stuff, esoteric, Gnostic, all kinds of synchronicity phenomena was one. I used to love them. I didn't participate much, but I read everything. And it came out 2004 on paperback.
Okay.
So yeah, that's about right then. I think one of my Yahoo groups, they recommended it. And I'm like, oh, it's about the Course in Miracles. And of course, I was already familiar with it from my family. So I ordered it. And I think this one really, really resonated with me because Gary has a smart ass mouth. And so do I. So it's just like a family trait. We all have really smart ass mouths. And so here are these ascended masters giving him all this wisdom of the ages. And he's saying like the most smart mouth stuff that I would be thinking in my head. And it just really, I think part of it is sometimes you use sarcasm to protect your paradigm or whatever you have going on.
Okay, yeah.
But my family is, we're masters at that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got introduced to him. And then I just been following him ever since. And I think I got you the book for your birthday or something one year.
Oh, you did? Oh,
or maybe I just recommended it to you for some
You definitely told me about it.
I don't remember, but yeah. So I love Gary's stuff because he's smartass like me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's great, guys. He really puts the course like into he puts it in
digestible. Some teachers are so far advanced. If the everyday person is going to be like, what?
I would recommend starting with him, actually.
Yeah, because it's the most just basic, and even with the course, they do it purposely to make you read it slow. They put it in the like Shakespearean kind of English and I'm a speed reader, so that's one thing that annoys me with it. I can't speed read it. I have to read it slowly, and sometimes go back and read that paragraph again, and yeah, so. Yeah, but anyway, I feel like we're just rambling now. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nope, that's it. I think since Christmas is Tuesday, the 25th, I was thinking we should when would the next show be? What is next Sunday?
That is the 23rd, isn't it?
The 23rd. So maybe we should do chapter 15, part 6, Christmas as the end.
Christmas chapter.
Next week.
She's been waiting for this Christmas chapter, y'all. She's so excited to talk about it.
I think we should do that next Sunday, right? Since that's right before Christmas.
Yeah, we can.
So maybe we should maybe this week we can try to do is it chapter 27? What's that long one we never finished?
Yeah, it's 27.
Chapter 27, the healing of the dream.
Do it when?
Let's try to. You want to try to finish it? Because I think we got halfway through it, and we can
tonight. Or
for next week.
No, next week we have to do the Christmas chapter.
Oh,
Christmas is that following Tuesday.
Okay, so let's do the Christmas one then. So Christmas chapter 15, part 6, Christmas as the end of sacrifice. And
now, there might be if you wanted to do an extra show this week to finish 27, we can. If that's what I thought you were saying.
Oh, okay. I think that might be a bit much. Let's get back to 27.
After Christmas.
Yeah, girl, we're supposed to be doing the lessons.
Oh yeah, because that following week, we're supposed to be starting January 1st with lesson 1. So would that be the following week? No, it's just short of it. It's the 30th. 20th? It's the 30th. So we'll still have time.
To finish it. Yeah.
So we'll finish chapter 27 on the 30th, and we'll get in preparation to start the daily lessons. That's one thing I'm good we're doing this 21-day challenge, because I think that
it'll get us ready.
The practice of reading that and applying it each day is just setting us up to start the course lessons in January.
Absolutely.
And then we could what we'll do is we'll be more active in the group, posting throughout the day. Like when we're doing the lessons, like we can post the lessons in there and talk about them, and anybody who wants to do them with us can.
Oh, that'll be so fun.
Yeah, so that's the goal. Okay, so next week, chapter 15, which is the Christmas chapter. And
part 6, I think, particularly. Christmas as the end of sacrifice. I don't
that section.
The whole thing. Yeah. Although, yeah, that section, guys.
All right. Did you have anything else?
Wait, girl, that's not a 6. X1, that's 11, right?
Yeah, that's section 11.
Oh,
I don't have my book in front of me. I forgot to grab it before we started recording.
Chapter 15, section 11, Christmas as the end of sacrifice.
Wait,
There we go.
You said X1?
Right. Wouldn't that be the 11?
No. That's
1, 2, 3, 4. Because 5 is.
I thought V was 10.
V is 5.
Oh, okay.
We are not doing this.
Yeah. So it's XI?
Roman, yeah, X1. So that should be
numerals. Yeah, that's 16. Oh, Lord, child.
The healing of
that's 11.
Yeah.
Yes. X1, 11. Okay, got you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. I've worked all day. So I'm going to take a nap before my mastermind tonight. And yeah, until next week, guys. So Christmas chapter 15, section 11.
Christmas as the end of sacrifice. It's the one with Christmas in it.
All right. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Ta-ta. Bye.